back home, let me tell you how. She cooks good and she looks good and she just won't do me any wrong. She cooks my car to the mall and she my dinner and my midnight snack. She sits up like a dog and she'll even roll over on her back, yes she will. Please don't tell me that's the way that it goes, 'cause I tried hard and I know I'm gonna play in your backyard, 'cause I've got my baby, she loves me so. She don't treat me mean and she loves my machine, I think so 'cause she's funky and she sure loves to drive me on home. She my summer, she my lover, she my dinner and my midnight snack. I lay my life on the line and she steps up right beside me on home. Please don't tell me that's the way that it goes, 'cause I tried hard and I know I'm gonna play in your backyard, 'cause I've got my baby, she loves me so.
Good evening, South Tama Trojan fans. It's Trojan Country. Tonight we're live from the STC RoundHouse as it is WaMaC Conference volleyball action coming your way here in about a half hour. It's South Tama against Center Point-Urbana this evening. As you can see, the Frosh and JV matches just winding up here at the RoundHouse, and the players, coaches, and officials getting ready to kind of flip the court around for varsity. I'm Darvin Graham, and I'll be with you for the duration this evening. And glad you could be with us. If you're tuned in early, we're going to have a little bit of a pregame show and then jump into WaMaC action at around 7:30. South Tama taking on Center Point-Urbana. But make sure to stick with us through the pregame or tune back in if you're just popping in momentarily. We're going to hear from STC volleyball captain Molly Wobiter. An interview we had with a captain's interview we had with her earlier last week, and we're also going to hear a coach's corner from volleyball head coach Sam Cantonwine. So all kinds of stuff coming your way, and we'll just jump right into just kind of a quick breakdown of this matchup between South Tama and Center Point-Urbana. And it's very early yet in as far as conference competition goes. Both teams have only faced two WaMaC Conference opponents so far. And Center Point-Urbana coming in off of a last place conference finish last year. South Tama got one of their few conference wins against the Storm & Pointers last season. However, the Pointers, a different looking team this year than last year. Graduated 11 seniors off their roster, and the kind of playmakers and difference makers, as we're seeing in the stat lines for Center Point-Urbana, some different names, different faces that South Tama is going to see tonight. So could be a completely different story. South Tama, of course, coming back with a strong returning unit, only graduating 3 seniors, one of them a starter off of last year's roster. And they're back and almost all the way healthy after kind of coming into Williamsburg a little banged up. But I think all but Natalie Meek for the Trojans going to be suiting up tonight. And as far as Center Point-Urbana this season, they are 9-10 is their record coming into tonight. However, they're 2-0 in conference action, kind of the opposite of how South Tama sits, though the teams have played different opponents so far. Center Point-Urbana holds dual victories over Grinnell, Vinton-Shellsburg, and Benton Community. And they have tournament wins against Mid-Prairie, Cedar Rapids-Kennedy, Tipton, Denver, Van Meter, and Davis County. Leaders for the Pointers. Kills leader is number 7, senior hitter Taylor Luscombe. The blocks leader for the Pointers tonight is number 13, senior middle hitter Allison Pollock. And in the backcourt, it is number 12, sophomore libero and defensive specialist Gracie Hoskins. She's both their digs leader and aces leader. But a couple nice conference wins over Vinton-Shellsburg and Benton. Benton started, I think, preseason ranked. And so some formidable competition for Center Point-Urbana. South Tama is definitely going to have their work cut out for them after taking a 3-0 loss to Williamsburg last Tuesday. The Trojans have been on the shelf ever since. They did not go to a tournament this past weekend, and so this is their first action since we were last with them in Williamsburg last week. And we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back with more pregame show. You're listening to Trojan Country. How hard would it be to pay your bills if you became disabled from an unforeseen accident, sickness, or injury? Call the folks at Gary Bach State Farm and ask for a free quote on short or long-term disability insurance. Gary and his helpful staff can customize a plan that will fit your needs and will be ready to help when life's unexpected moments occur. Call 641-484-3163 today. Ages available 18 to 59. Restrictions and eligibility underwriting applies. Medicap Pharmacy in Toledo offers free medication packaging and free delivery to surrounding areas. With convenient drive-up service and hours on Saturday morning, Medicap Pharmacy is always there for you. Visit with pharmacist Derek Townsend and his team by calling 484-6198 or stop by their location across from Fairway in Toledo. Medicap Pharmacy, locally owned and expertly operated. 2022 marks the 95th year in business for the State Bank of Toledo since opening in 1927. The State Bank of Toledo is Trojan Country's hometown bank, supporting its customers with loyal, friendly, and fair customer service. With 2 convenient locations, a full-service investment center, 24-hour ATM service, and online banking, you can't go wrong making State Bank of Toledo your financial services choice. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Is going to be
It's time for Trojan Country Coach's Corner. Today I'm joined by South Tama varsity head coach Sam Cantonwine. Sam, thanks so much for taking some time for us.
Yes, of course.
All right, so we're a couple days removed from the Williamsburg duel. Can you just take a minute and recap that match for you, or for us, for viewers that weren't there? What were some of your takeaways from that Williamsburg meet?
I feel like we played very, very well. We knew going into it was going to be a very fun, fast-paced game, and we had to work really hard, and we needed every single person in order to win. Obviously, it didn't come our way, but I feel like we fought really, really hard. Offensively, we focused on mixing up our shots a little bit more instead of just swinging all the time and taking more smart moves. And we had just worked on that at practice on Monday, and we implemented it on Tuesday, and I felt like they did a really nice job of doing that, of switching it up. I felt like our serve receive looked better than what we have in the past. Usually we get 5, 6, 7 aces a game against us, and we only took maybe 1 or 2.
Right.
I felt that looked really nice. Defensively, we were just slow. We were getting to our spot slow, so we weren't covering the balls that we needed to, and wrong people were taking the wrong balls because we were just slow getting back to our defense. So good things and bad things.
Yeah. That first set seemed to be kind of the defining moment. You guys had several lead changes, were in control at different points. What do you feel like was the key to that set, maybe for Williamsburg or for you as the team that came on the wrong end of it?
I felt like we knew we wanted, since the seniors hadn't beat Williamsburg yet, their 4 years, they really wanted to take this set and beat a really strong outside that's been starting for 4 years, Jesse
Right.
Julius. So they really wanted to, came out ready to go, on fire. We watched film on Monday on them, and so they were just ready to go, ready to tackle it. And so I think they fought really hard, but then after that they just got really discouraged because they were so close, but then they didn't get it. So
It's a big lead.
yes,
just a big up and down.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That makes sense. So I know one of the big parts of a volleyball, kind of the strategy of it, is your rotation. Is that something that you and your coaches have kind of locked in at this point? Is it something that is changing? How is your kind of rotation right now for the team?
Offensively, they're kind of like in a battle at practice all the time. So it's always week by week, and what we see, their attitude, their effort, all the time. So that's always changing, and same with back row as well. We go by effort and attitude that week. So Wednesday to Friday, and Monday, what can you show us to figure out who's going to be in that starting lineup? And so, it's never locked in ever. Right. So it is always changing, and how we start always changes. So it just kind of depends on where they started. So they started Jesse Julius in the back row. So that's why I had my setter start in the back row, so that she wouldn't be up front blocking when she was up there. So it depends on the team and who brings it that week of practice. So
gotcha. Looking at a skill standpoint, as you're working with the team to get better at different areas, offensively and defensively, do you feel like your kids are ahead of schedule at any kind of skill or part of their game right now?
I am actually very happy with serve receive. I feel like I've pushed it for the past 4 years that I've been here, serve receive needs to get better. We need to work on first ball side out and not letting them score all the time. And kind of what I've started is the mentality of look at serve receive not as a defense of just getting the ball over, but look at it as an offense. It's a chance to score right away. So I feel like our serve receive has really come around. I just remember getting so many aces a game on us, and it just wasn't the case. And it's not like they were easy serves on Tuesday either. So I feel like that has really improved, and it is ahead of time, ahead of schedule for this time of season. So hopefully it just only gets better. Yeah. So.
You guys are in the middle of a practice week right now. What are some of the things and focuses that you guys are working on this week in practice?
For sure working on reading the hitter. We catch ourselves watching the ball a lot, which slows us down, which is part of the reason for the loss on Tuesday. Is we're just slow getting back to defense because we watched the ball for so long instead of focusing our eyes on the hitter. What is the hitter doing? And so we're working a lot on reading the hitters and a lot of like I said, getting that first ball side out. So getting a lot of drills focused on where if you don't get that first swing, you don't get the point. So lots of those types of things.
What's like an early scouting report on CPU? I think that's your next game. Is that right? Next Tuesday?
Yeah.
What is that matchup looking like for you? What do you know about them? How are you working to get ready for CPU on Tuesday?
We know they graduated their big middle last year, who scored a ton of points against us last year, who kept it kind of close. So now looking forward into it, I'm actually not sure what they bring. So we'll watch film on them on Monday, and so we'll go from there.
Yep. Injuries have played a role for you, it seems like. What's your injury report like right now? How are you health-wise as a unit?
It's funny you ask. Actually, it's not very good right now. So, Glow Tuesday got hurt, and so she's just taking it slow right now. I think it's okay. It didn't really swell too bad. It's a sprained ankle, but not a really bad one, so that's good. But she's just taking it easy so we don't push it, or I just want her to rest it. Molly and Skyla, they had sprained ankles. They both seem to be back. We don't know if it's 100% yet. We're still icing lots, resting lots, and elevating and ibuprofen, if that's even a word. Natalie Meek is actually a possible concussion. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
So she's out right now. Ashlyn Kriegel's out with strep throat. Knock on wood, that's it.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, I caught you at a bad moment then with the injury question, but wish you guys all the best of luck, best of health, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Yep, that was South Tama head varsity volleyball coach Sam Cantonwine.
I've been trying so hard to get next to you. Any way to get close to you. Can't you see I'm crying, so sad and blue? And I'd do anything to get next to you. All my life.
Sharn Weber's in Toledo serves central and northeast Iowa with the latest in heating and cooling systems, water softeners, plumbing and electrical installation, as well as expert service and repair. As a family-owned hallmark business from the South Tama community, Sharn Weber's is proud to support Trojan spirit on the field, on the stage, on the court, or in the classroom. When the job needs done, call Sharn Weber's at 800-542-7980. If you believe in capturing meaningful moments, you've made it to the right place. The Farmer's Daughter Photography and TFD Films are a proud supporter of Trojan Country and South Tama County activities. Located near Conrad, the Farmer's Daughter Photography and TFD Films offer an array of photo and video services, including family photos, newborns, kids and seniors, weddings, and commercial media. Check them out on the web at tfdphoto.com or on Facebook and Instagram to learn more. Located in the heart of corn and cattle country, Iowa Premium procures and processes only corn-fed Black Angus cattle that come hand-selected from family farms in Iowa and neighboring states. As Tama County's largest employer, the team at Iowa Premium are an anchor, not only in the beef industry, but throughout eastern and central Iowa. Iowa Premium, a national beef company. Licensed agents Mandy Leakin and Jason Leakin in Tama, Toledo are the one to count on for all your residential, commercial, and farm real estate needs. For most of us, buying a home is one of the largest investments of a lifetime. Choosing the right professional can save you time and make home buying a smooth process. Call 641-751-3021 to find out how the team at Appraisal and Real Estate Services can serve you.
I'm Sarah Smith, and I'm running for Iowa House District 53. As a lifelong Iowan and a native of Poweshiek County, I know this district well, and I have a vested interest in its success. In my leadership roles as a mom, coach, business professional, and a devoted member of my community, I know how to advocate for what matters most. Learn more about my campaign and my platform at sarahsmithforiowa.com. Paid for by Sarah Smith for Iowa.
Welcome back to Trojan Country. You're listening live from the STC RoundHouse. I'm Darvin Graham. I'll be with you for tonight's action. And we're about 10 minutes or so away from the start of the start of the varsity match between South Tama and Center Point-Urbana. South Tama coming in 10-10, taking on the Storm Pointers. They're 9-10 on their season. But in conference play, kind of an opposite situation for both of these teams. South Tama 0-2 with losses against Williamsburg and Benton. And the Pointers, meanwhile, have got wins over Benton-Shellsburg and Benton Community. So they're 2-0 in the conference. South Tama 0-2. The Trojans looking for their first win. One of the goals stated by the head coach, Sam Cantonwine, who we heard from earlier in the pregame show. One of their goals this year is to up their conference victories to 2 or more, I believe. Last season, the lone conference win for the Trojans came against Center Point-Urbana. But a bit of a different team, as this year the Pointers are featuring their kind of big hitter on the outside, Taylor Luscombe. She's a senior. She was on the team last year but did not play in South Tama's matchup with Center Point-Urbana. That came early in the season, so maybe an injury there for Luscombe. But at any rate, she was not a factor in last year's meeting between these two teams, and South Tama got a 3-0 sweep here at home. And several seniors graduating off of that squad, so some new faces coming into the Center Point-Urbana lineup, and we'll see what that means for South Tama here momentarily. All right, we're going to jump into one of our captains' interviews. A little less than a week ago, we got together with one of the volleyball captains, Molly Wobeater, for a Get to Know the Captain feature. We're going to be running these throughout the rest of the fall season, so make sure to keep an eye on our Facebook for which captain's going to be featured in a particular. We're going to try and get these on the football nights. We had a little technical difficulty last Friday over in Benton, and so our broadcast kind of came in and out. So we're going to replay this one from last Friday. And so here is one of South Tama's captains, Molly Wobeater. I'm joined by one of South Tama's varsity volleyball captains, Molly Wobeater. Molly, thanks for taking a minute to join us here. You're just wrapping up practice. Thanks so much. Can you first start off, tell me what grade you're in and what position you play for the South Tama team.
I'm a senior and I'm a setter.
You're a setter, okay. Let's talk a little bit about, start with your family. Tell me who your parents are, if you have any siblings, and maybe what role that they have played in you as a volleyball player.
My parents' name, my mom is Lindsay Killian and my dad is Clint Wobeater. I have a brother named Aiden, he's younger than me, and my family has played a huge role in pushing me to become not only a good volleyball player but also a leader. Not just my parents but also my grandparents. I'm very thankful for all the support I have, and yeah.
How long have you been playing volleyball? Probably a long time, yeah?
Yeah, I've been playing since I was in 5th grade. So.
Okay. Were you always a setter? Was that something you've been for quite a while?
I've always been a setter. I've never played any other
Really?
position. Yeah.
So you must like it, right?
Yeah, I love it.
What is the most challenging part of the position, and what do you kind of like the most about playing it?
Well, the challenging part and what I like most are kind of the same thing. It's
Okay.
a lot of movement.
Yeah.
It can be challenging, but I really like it. Don't ever stop moving. So.
Yeah. What do you love most about the sport itself? What kind of has kept you involved, coming back each year and continuing to play?
I love the relationships that I build during practice, during volleyball games, either like on my team or even off the team. Like meeting new girls from other schools, and yeah.
What does like the off season look like for you? I know a lot of our volleyball players are active in the off season doing club volleyball and such like that. Is that the case for you? What does that look like?
I have been playing AAU in the winter, but I can't this year because I'm a senior and it stops at senior year. So, but it's mostly just like in the weight room, like just staying fit, staying conditioned. But
Yep. The volleyball season kind of consists in two parts, where you're playing weekends a lot, where these big tournaments, you're playing maybe 5 different teams in one day, something like that. And then you're playing on the week where you're playing WaMaC teams, and it's like a duel, like you played against Williamsburg. How are those things different for you as a player? What do you enjoy about them? What's the difference?
Weekend tournaments are definitely longer.
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of like when we win, we carry that momentum to our next game, and that's what kind of sucks about during the week games, because if we win, we can't carry that momentum. I mean, we still do like in between sets, but it's just like it's different on the weekends. And I feel like the vibe that we carry onto like the weekdays is very different, because like usually our WaMaC schools we are very competitive with. So
Is the best of 5 versus the best of 3 format, does it make any difference, or is it just you're out there playing sets anyway and kind of just end it early when you're playing?
yeah, I feel like there's no different feeling
Yeah.
between the two.
You're just playing volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for me, I just don't notice a lot of the time.
Yeah. You are one of the captains
Yeah.
of this South Tama team this year. What has that meant to you as a leader with this group? What does leadership look like for you and Courtney as the 2 captains? What comes to mind when you think of leadership in this volleyball team?
So I was voted unanimously, and that means a lot for me. It means everyone not only likes me but looks up to me as a leader and as a person, and I take all that to heart. I'm very thankful for all those girls on the team. We're all leaders on that team. There is not one single person that isn't a leader on that team. And I look forward to seeing who really steps it up next year, and yeah.
What are some of your goals for the rest of the season? Still a lot of volleyball to be played left.
Yeah.
Where do you think this team could go? How do you think you guys could get better as you move through the season?
So one of my personal goals is breaking some more records for my assists by the end of my season. Some team goals I think we have came up with as a team are not having like a losing record anymore, and like just in games always keep our momentum and stay up and never hold our head down.
What about plans after high school? What does that look like for you? I know you're probably busy thinking about school and what's going on in the season. What's maybe next for you?
My plans, so I just applied to the University of Iowa.
Awesome.
My plan was to go to Kirkwood for a semester and then transfer to the university, but I think I plan on just going straight there to study psychology. So.
Excellent. Okay, I've got some lightning round questions to end out here, okay?
Okay.
All right. So first one, big dogs or little dogs?
Big dogs.
Okay. What's your favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Of course. All right, third one, Luke Bryan or Luke Combs?
Luke Bryan.
Okay. Highway 30 or Highway 63?
30.
Sephora or Ulta?
Sephora.
Oh man, came out strong there. All right. And this is the big. We're going to be asking everybody this question: Casey's or Quick Start?
Oh, it really just depends on what mood I'm in, but
Yeah.
I think Quick Start, especially with the new Quick Start.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Molly. That
Thank
was
you.
Molly Wobeer, one of South Tama's captains for the 2022 season.
Thank you.
I got this good-looking woman back home, let me tell you all. She cooks good and she looks good and she just won't do me any wrong. She cooks me right out to the mall and she my dinner and my midnight snack. She sits up like a dog and she'll even roll over on her back, yes she will. They don't tell me that's the way that it goes.
Welcome back to Trojan Country. We're live from the STC RoundHouse as South Tama and Center Point-Urbana getting ready to square off this evening. Just a quick update on our start time tonight. We have still not got warm-ups underway here at South Tama High School, so we're in for at least another, I'd say 15 minutes or so before we get things underway in this varsity matchup. As you can see by the crowd and the South Tama team who's just out in front of their bench here, you can see them on camera. It's Pink Out Night tonight, cancer awareness, the focus this evening.
Despite daily struggles, these girls come to practice each day and give it their all.
And you can hear
This match is dedicated to all the men and women who have been impacted by cancer, with the hopes that this devastating disease will one day be cured. We would like to thank everyone who donated for our fundraiser, and are proud to announce that 100% of tonight's donations will go straight to Tracy Freeze.
So the applause you're hearing, if you're catching that on the mic, is
Nurse here in town at Unity Point Clinic. She has 2 kids, one who graduated from South Tama. and one
a
is
congratulations and just a reception from the donation the volleyball team is making to one of a local residents, local South Tama community members battling cancer at the moment.
But it ended up only missing about 5 months of work.
The volleyball team sold team posters earlier in the season and raised some money. So tonight they're giving that away, and everybody here dressed up in pink to support cancer survivors and those impacted by cancer. And that's a lot of us.
Thank you for coming to tonight's game to support such a great cause. Good luck, girls.
So you can see a nice crowd here gathering tonight at the STC RoundHouse as we're just about ready to get warm-ups underway. We'll jump in and give you your starters for the South Tama Trojans. A little different than last Tuesday, just one switch around that we're seeing. The front line's going to be outside hitters Courtney Babinet and Gloria Mullen. Babinet, the kills leader with 89 kills so far in the season. And Kaylee O'Loughlin's going to be coming in off the bench. She's second in kills with 78. Laughlin, however, one of the most efficient attacker on the South Tama roster. And her .138 kills efficiency ranks 8th in the WaMaC West. But Laughlin tonight going to be coming in off the bench, rotating in. Gloria Mullen, the other outside hitter, did not finish the Williamsburg meet last Tuesday. Had a bit of a leg injury. I believe it was a sprain, but she is back in action tonight. Mullen, one of the top servers, one of the top players at the service line for South Tama. She's got 28 aces so far, and her 95.7 efficiency rating as a server, ranks 2nd in the WaMaC West. That's junior Gloria Mullen. She's going to be the other outside hitter. In the middle, senior Ashlyn Kriegel and junior Macy Welsh, sophomore, Macy Welsh. Welsh leads the team in blocks with 28 and ranks 7th in the WaMaC West, averaging 0.5 blocks per set. And you're hearing the crowd reacting to the hype video that is put together by TFD Films and the Farmer's Daughter Photography. We're going to show you that here before we get varsity action underway, so stick around for that. But that has been played before every home meet this season, and it's been a fun little piece of media to kind of pump up the South Tama team and their crowd. Also one of our sponsors, so thanks so much for TFD Films and the Farmer's Daughter Photography for partnering with us here at Trojan Country. All the photos that we put our graphics together with for our Facebook broadcast announcements, all those are coming from the Farmer's Daughter Photography. They're a family-owned photo and video studio out of the Conrad area, and they're working with South Tama this year as the sports team photographer. So in the middle, again, it's Ashlyn Kriegel, Macy Welsh in the back line. It's going to be libero Cassandra Klosterman, setter Molly Wobieter, and defensive specialist Ashley Finch. So those are your starters for the South Tama County Trojans. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this. You're listening to Trojan Country. Trojan Country fans, come on down to The Pump, Tama Toledo's #1 bar and grill. Located in downtown Tama at 218 West 3rd Street, The Pump serves up cold drinks, a warm atmosphere, and an amazing lunch on the regular. Check out the Tama Pump on Facebook for regular lunch and drink specials, as well as details on their latest events. Mercy Care Tama is a proud supporter of South Tama County High School sports. The dedicated staff at Mercy Care Tama offer you and your family the highest quality professional care enhanced by the Mercy Touch. When you're looking for a new home or farmland, why not seek the counsel of a friend and expert? Dallas Berm at Exit Holes Realty can answer all your questions about the home buying process. Exit Holes Realty knows Trojan Country better than anyone and can provide the kind of service you've been looking for. So call Dallas Berm at 319-360-1592 to start looking for your new home, and remember to buy with Berm. Expertise, innovation, and doing the right thing. These aren't traits you'll find everywhere, but you'll find them with Assured Partners in Toledo, your local independent insurance agency. Assured Partners specializes in home, auto, business, farm, and crop insurance. The professionals at Assured Partners in Toledo have been serving the South Tama community since 1948 and continue to deliver innovative products and solutions to meet clients' precise needs. Call 641-351-6976 to learn more. Assured Partners, power in partnership.
So what are we watching tonight? Cat videos or DIY tutorials?
Neither. Tonight we are premium streaming.
How?
My State Farm agent helped me save money on my auto insurance with safe driving discounts, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Oh, now we can watch the new season of Iris the Internet Cat.
Cue it up.
For surprisingly great rates, visit Gary Bach State Farm in Toledo for a free quote today.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Welcome back. Darvin Graham here, live from the STC RoundHouse. We've got about 13 minutes to go here as the varsity teams are warming up. You can see them on the court. South Tama taking on Center Point-Urbana in WaMaC Conference action. South Tama with a 10-10 overall record, and CPU coming in with a 9-10 overall record. However, CPU holding 2 conference victories over Vinton and Benton Community. South Tama winless so far in the WaMaC West. with losses to Williamsburg and Benton. So again, our starters this evening, if you're just tuning in the front court, it'll be outside hitters Courtney Babinet and Gloria Mullen. In the middle, Macy Welsh and Ashlyn Kriegel. In the backcourt, libero Cassandra Klosterman, defensive specialist Ashley Finch, and setter Molly Wobeater. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors who have partnered with us this fall season here at Trojan Country: Gary Bach, State Farm Insurance, Iowa Premium, Mercy Care Tama, Appraisal and Real Estate Services, Medicap Toledo, Sharon Webbers, Sarah Smith for Iowa, State Bank of Toledo, S&S Car Wash, the Tama Pump, Dallas Berm, Exit Halls Realty, Assured Partners in Toledo, and the Farmer's Daughter Photography. Tonight's broadcast and all of Trojan Country broadcasts also made possible by the Charlie Townsley Memorial. Thanks to all of our local businesses, groups, and sponsors for just getting us out there and getting us on the air, promoting South Tama. That's what we're all about. We've got about 12 minutes on the clock here. We're going to take a quick break, let a little clock run off, and we'll be back with a little more pregame show and then the start of the first period, South Tama and CPU. You're listening to Trojan Country. Welcome back to Trojan Country. If you're just tuning in, we're live from the STC RoundHouse. South Tama taking on Center Point-Urbana this evening. I'm Darvin Graham. I'll be with you for the duration tonight. We got about 3 minutes to go until we start the first period here in Tama. Quickly to run down again. Starters for South Tama will be Courtney Babinette, Ashlyn Kriegel, Macy Welsh, Gloria Mullen, Ashley Finch, Molly Wobeater, and Cassandra Klosterman, the libero for STC. For the Storm Pointers, they are going to be led by number 2, Addie Tupa. She's a sophomore outside hitter. Number 9, another sophomore, right side, Sydney Mao. Number 21, sophomore defensive specialist, Adeline Wade. Number 12, another sophomore, the libero, Gracie Hoskins. Hoskins, the digs leader and aces leader for the Storm Pointers so far in this season. Number 13, senior middle hitter, Allison Pollock. And number 18, rounding out the starters for Center Point-Urbana, junior middle hitter, Paige Foltz. Center Point-Urbana coming in 9-10. South Tama coming in 10-10. The Trojans got a win against CPU last year, early in September. That also came here at the RoundHouse, so maybe some good mojo for South Tama tonight, looking for their first WaMaC Conference victory. While we wait to get things underway, I'd like to quickly run down a quick community calendar, and of course, let us know if there's any events going on in the South Tama or Tama County area. Please let us know. We like to do these community calendars during our broadcast, let everybody know, remind everybody what's going on in our community, because there's always something to do in Tama, Toledo. You just got to look. So coming up on Sunday, October 2, it'll be the Trojan Way 5K. This is South Tama's homecoming kickoff to homecoming week. It'll be a 5K going around kind of the high school campus. That'll be Sunday, October 2 at South Tama County High School. It's going to be $15 per person, the registration. The proceeds go into the STC Student Council. As a reminder, if you're interested in participating and would like a t-shirt, a Trojan Way 5K t-shirt, the deadline to register to guarantee yourself a t-shirt is this Friday. So check out, I would say best bet is to get a hold of the front office at the high school and get you signed up that way. Homecoming week coming up, not this Friday, but next Friday will be the homecoming game against Center Point-Urbana. Going to see the Storm Pointers in town again. But homecoming week, the week leading up to the game on Friday will be kind of the busy time for South Tama and the Tama-Toledo community. The homecoming parade will be Thursday, October 6th. That's going to be going through downtown Toledo. I believe the plan is to rotate the parade location between Tama and Toledo in alternating years. The start time is going to be at 6 o'clock. It'll be a similar route as those that can remember the Christmas parade that usually happens in late November in Toledo. So come on down to the Toledo Square around 6 o'clock on Thursday, October 6th. There's going to be a pep rally and coronation at the football field at 7 o'clock. A couple other things going on. For sure not an exhaustive list, but some events that I was able to pull together here. The Wheating Theater and the Tama County Historical Society are going to be hosting a Stories from Buckingham Cemetery event Wednesday, October 5 from 7 to 8 p.m. at the Wheating Theater. There's going to be a candidate forum for the Iowa House of Representatives race between incumbent Dean Fisher and challenger Sarah Smith. That's going to come up on Monday, September 26th. That's coming up just next week. That'll start at 6:30 at the Tama American Legion. And also on Sunday, October 2, there's going to be a cornhole tournament and chili cook-off at the Tama Ballroom. Check them out on Facebook for event information. That's starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 2. So drop us a message if there's any events going on that you'd like us to give a shout out to on our broadcast. We'd love to hear from all of our community members. While we have starters, we're going to jump into our video put together by TFD Films and the Farmer's Daughter photography. We'll be right back with the start of the varsity match after this. You're listening to Trojan Country.
To the top of it. Haters gon' hate, but you gotta love it. Watch me now. I'm bringing all that power. All that power. I'm bringing all that power. I can guarantee energy, bringing that power.
Drive me on home. She my summer, she my lover, she my dinner and my midnight snack. I lay my life on the line and she steps up right beside me on home. Please don't tell me that's the way that it goes, 'cause I tried hard and I know. I've got my baby, she loves me so.
All right, we are ready to go here at the RoundHouse, South Tama, Center Point-Urbana, set 1 coming your way. As the team's taking the court. So a sophomore heavy lineup coming in to start for CPU. South Tama, a lot of juniors and seniors on this squad. So we'll see if some experience can win the day here at South Tama. Serve receive getting set up here as the team's ready to go. Of course, we're going to have live football action on Friday, so make sure if you can't make it out to Independence, tune in to Trojan Country. Friday will be an audio-only broadcast, but we're going to have all the live play-by-play action for you. Starting around 6:30 with a pregame show. We'll break it all down, have some more captain interviews, and have a great time over in Independence. So tune in if you can't make it to Independence. Week 5 of the high school football season. All right, we're underway. South Tama on the serve receive. There's libero Gracie Hoskins. And a shot long from the CPU front line is no good, and that'll be a point for South Tama. Serving first for the Trojans, it'll be senior Molly Wobeater. Wobeater's first serve, down the middle. Picked up by Hoskins. Big shot by Fultz against the block, but it falls good for CPU, and we're tied at 1. Now here's Addie Tupa, one of the outside hitters for the Pointers. Long serve, out of bounds, point South Tama. Good sized student section cheering on the Trojans this evening. Kaylee Laughlin rotating in for Ashley Finch. And Courtney Babinet at the service line. Babinet's serve picked up by CPU's libero, a tip over by Taylor Luscombe. And a shot by Wobeater long and out of bounds. Point CPU, we're tied at 2. This is Paige Fultz serving for the Pointers. Little cross-court serve picked up by Klosterman. There's Mullen on the kill, and she finds the bottom of the net. Gloria Mullen, the first kill for the Trojans, making it 3-2. That'll rotate around Macy Welsh to serve for South Tama. Welsh's serve, long down the middle. And a shot by Allison Pollock, picked up by Kriegel. Bumped over by Wobeater, now on the CPU side. Long shot coming from number 9, Sydney Maui, right at Welsh. And it had enough mustard to go out of bounds, but Welsh kind of picked it up, knocked it out of bounds herself, and that'll be CPU point. Opening set here of this WaMaC West Conference matchup. Serve received, picked up by Babinet. Here's another shot from Mullen, and Gloria Mullen finds the corner of the court for another kill. From the right corner, Mullen gives South Tama a 4-3 lead. And now Mullen will rotate around to serve. One of the Trojans' higher efficiency servers. A low serve, dug out by Hoskins. And a little miscommunication there by the CPU front line, and that'll be a point for the Trojans. Now Mullen again, into the net. Service error gives another point to the Pointers. And that will bring Adeline Wade to the line. Wade's serve picked up by Babinet. A little tip over by Kriegel, and Wobeater finds a soft spot right in front of the front line, and that'll be good for a point. Now Kaylee Laughlin at the line for South Tama. From the middle. Picked up by CPU. Big shot by Tupa. Saved by Laughlin. It's going out of bounds, and that'll be point Center Point-Urbana right onto the laptop of Andrew Rutledge at the scorer's table. Everybody's okay, but CPU coming away with the point there. Now here's Hoskins, the libero, serving. And the return by Klosterman just a little short into the net, and that'll tie it up at 6. Here's Hoskins again. Low serve. Klosterman, Babinet, and Kriegel bumps it over. Hoskins keeps it in play, a little touch over. And a nice save there by Finch, who went to the court to grab it. but it goes out of bounds, and that'll keep the serve with CPU. An ace by Hoskins, and that'll make it 8-6. Now here's WaMaC setting up Kriegel. A punch over by CPU's number 26. I don't have a name on that player, but that'll be good enough for a point, and Hoskins maintains serve here. So the Pointers giving themselves some space in this first set. Kriegel knocks it over to the CPU side. Tupa sends it to the back corner, and that'll be long and out of bounds. South Tama finally gets it back. Kriegel and Klosterman to the bench. Skyla Beck, the sophomore, coming on. As is Mary Kate Frakes. And the return by the outside hitter for CPU is out of bounds. Point South Tama. Beck again. Right at Hoskins. Tupa tips it over, and Frakes can't quite get to it. Falls to the court. Point CPU. Trojans rotating players. Laughlin and Kriegel go to the bench. WaMaC now setting up Welsh for a little runaround attack from the right corner, but it's right into the block. And it comes right back to the South Tama side. Falls good for a Center Point-Urbana point. After the serve, Babinette bumping it over. Addison Tupa, saved by Finch. Nice dig there by the sophomore Finch. And a shot by number 9, Sydney Maui, is good. Right along the left sideline. That'll make it 12-9, 12-8, excuse me. And another point there. That was Maui again from the left corner, and that'll force a timeout. Sam Cantwine and the Trojans going to talk it over.
This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call State Farm agent Gary Bach in Toledo at 641-484-3163.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
S&S Car Wash provides both automatic and hand wash services as well as detailing for your vehicle. S&S Car Wash, your local car wash destination with convenient locations in Toledo and Tama. All right, coming out of the timeout, South Tama trailing 13-8. But it'll be CPU to serve. Served by the Pointers, picked up by Finch on the South Tama side. Here's Babinette on the attack from the left corner. Dug out by Center Point-Urbana. WaMaC setting up Babinette. And that was Maui on a big hit right to Frakes, and it goes out of bounds. Point CPU. And here's Babinette. Big swing there from the senior right into the block, though, and it falls short of the net. Oh, no, they're going to call it. That's going to be a South Tama point. I'm not sure. Looked like it fell on the South Tama side, but maybe a net violation there. I'm not quite sure how that ended up. Molly Wobeater, the senior, serving for South Tama. Sends it over to Fultz, who attacks from the corner, and South Tama gets another point. So the Trojans into double digits. Wobeater still serving. Maui right at Wobeater. She digs it out. Welsh setting up Babinet. Little fake out by Babinet. Ball high in the air for Wade. Finch in the back line. Nice over the back. Over the back action by Mullen, and Wobeater sends it over to the CPU side. They weren't ready for it, and South Tama on a 3-point run. Wobeater, the senior, still at the line. Sends it over to Wade. Tupa bumps it over. Babinet from behind her back. Wobeater sends it over to Hoskins. Oh, what a diving save by Mullen that time to keep it alive. That was huge by Gloria Mullen. Now the South Tama on a 4-point run. And now they force a timeout. CPU wants to talk it over as the Trojans pull back to within 2. A crucial opening set here, as we've seen, at least in the times I've seen the Trojans, as the first set goes, so does the rest of the match. Of course, not always the case, but really a tone setter for these high school teams. If they can get that first set, that really sets things off. Another timeout on the court here. Coming back onto the court for South Tama in the back, it's Finch, Wobeater, and Klosterman. In the front, Babinet, Mullen, and Macy Welch. Wobeater still at the service line. As the Trojans looking to pull even here. And Wobeater's serve is going to be long, and that will stop the South Tama run at 4. Addie Tupa at the line now for CPU. Right down the middle, Finch picks it up. Mullen goes out of bounds to save it back into the CPU side, but that was Taylor Luscombe putting it down and keeping the possession over on the CPU end. The officials looking for a towel. Must have been some moisture on the court. And we're ready to go. Tupa, the server. Right at Babinet. She pulls it right off the court to keep it alive for South Tama. Oh, a little misdirection there by Sydney Maui. And that was almost like a Magic Johnson layup. She kind of suspended herself, went a couple different directions, and finally got it to land. So that'll be a point for the Pointers. Back-to-back points on the ace that time. That'll make it 18-12 as that forces South Tama into their own timeout. So a back and forth here we've seen in this first period. CPU got out early. South Tama rallied for a 4-point run, but it's been CPU since then, and that gives us a 6-point deficit against Center Point-Urbana in this first set. Tonight is Cancer Awareness Pink Out Night here at South Tama. You can see the crowd and student section and players all decked out in pink. The Trojans volleyball team did a special fundraiser and donated to a South Tama community member that is battling cancer at the moment. Out of the timeout, it'll be Addie Tupa still at the service line. Her serve goes right at Mullen, pulls it off the ground. Luscombe right at Babinet. Babinet dives to save it. A nice over the back from Mullen again. having to go out of bounds, but the attack by Paige Foltz is too much to handle for the backcourt of the Trojans, and it'll be another point for Center Point-Urbana. There's Welsh sending it to Babinet. Babinet over the line now. And that was Maui right in the middle, elevating, going right at the South Tama back line. And South Tama's defenders just got a hand on it, and it went out of bounds. Point to the Pointers. That's weird to say. Point to the Pointers. Point to the. Yeah, that's all you can really call them is the Pointers, or the Stormin' Pointers. That's a lot of syllables. Addie Tupa still at the line for CPU as they've gone on a nice-sized run pulling away here in this first period. Tupa drops it into the South Tama backcourt. Babinet now. She's had not very many looks from that left corner. This time gets one to go over, but it is picked up by the CPU defense. Luscombe trying to return it. Goes long, and it goes out of bounds. That'll finally break the run by Tupa and the Pointers, giving it back to the Trojans. Courtney Babinet rotating over to serve for South Tama. Ashley Finch to the bench. And Kaylee O'Loughlin now into the front line. Tupa attacking. Picked up by Wobeater. Welsh over the back. Sends it back to Hoskins. Into the block. There's Macy Welsh and Kaylee O'Loughlin forming a wall, putting it down for a point for the South Tama Trojans. Babinet looking to get on a run here, but a lot of work to do as the Trojans still trailing 21, now 22-14. Babinet serve long and out of bounds. Paige Foltz at the line for CPU. Klosterman picks up the serve. Wobeater to Welsh. She just lightly tips it over. Now here's a big swing from Maui, and she lands one in the far corner. No, it's going to be off of South Tama's defenders. So it'll be tipped out of bounds by South Tama. Point, Center Point-Urbana. The Pointers nearing game point here in this first set. Wobeater setting up Welsh, and Welsh, good court awareness there, finding the front line of Center Point-Urbana kind of off center on their back heel and just tips one in. Ashlyn Kriegel rotates in for Klosterman, the libero. Macy Welsh now to serve for the Trojans. Welsh right at the corner, and that's going to be an ace for the sophomore Welsh. Here comes serve number two. This one is going to be short into the net, and that'll now bring up game point, 24-16 the score. Center Point-Urbana looking to close out this first set, as they've been really in control the most of this first period. Here's Mullen from the right corner, right at Tupa. Tupa saves it, gives it back to the South Tama defense. Can't talk there. And there's Laughlin tipping it over. Laughlin drops a shot in, keeps South Tama alive, 24-17 now. Big shot by Allison Pollock, and that will fall good for CPU, and that'll be set number one in the books. 25-17 the final score in the first period. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to Trojan Country. How hard would it be to pay your bills if you became disabled from an unforeseen accident, sickness, or injury? Call the folks at Gary Bach State Farm and ask for a free quote on short or long-term disability insurance. Gary and his helpful staff can customize a plan that will fit your needs and will be ready to help when life's unexpected moments occur. Call 641-484-3163 today. Ages available 18 to 59. Restrictions and eligibility underwriting applies. Located in the heart of corn and cattle country, Iowa Premium procures and processes only corn-fed Black Angus cattle that come hand-selected from family farms in Iowa and neighboring states. As Tama County's largest employer, the team at Iowa Premium are an anchor, not only in the beef industry, but throughout eastern and central Iowa. Iowa Premium, a national beef company. Medicap Pharmacy in Toledo offers free medication packaging and free delivery to surrounding areas. With convenient drive-up service and hours on Saturday morning, Medicap Pharmacy is always there for you. Visit with pharmacist Derek Townsend and his team by calling 484-6198 or stop by their location across from Fairway in Toledo. Medicap Pharmacy, locally owned and expertly operated. All right, we're ready to start set number 2. South Tama to serve. Starting for the Trojans in the front, Courtney Babinet, Gloria Mullen, Macy Welsh in the backcourt. Ashlyn Kriegel, Kaylee O'Laughlin, and to serve it'll be Molly Wobeater. South Tama student section yelling for no apparent reason. And we're underway. Mullen setting up Wobeater. Babinet, big shot from the left corner. She's looking to get active, and that'll be a point for South Tama to start the second period. Wobeater, second serve, into the net, and that'll be no good. Point CPU. Addie Tupa at the line to serve for CPU now. Wobeater, one-handed save, gets it to Welsh, who sends it over to keep the possession alive. Luscombe, big shot in the middle, right at Wobeater, who dug it out. Tall shot there by Mullen. Tip out fake by Maui, still alive. Klosterman, Wobeater, and a fake out by Babinet. And that'll be a point for the Trojans. Nice little misdirection there by the South Tama front line. And Courtney Babinet finishing it off for the Trojans. Babinet now will go to the line. Serving right at Hoskins. Hoskins picks it up. Luscombe. Logan Keller digs it out. Now for South Tama. Welsh goes right. Diving save by Tupa. Gets it over to the South Tama side. Here comes Kaylee O'Laughlin. Oh, a big shot there by the sophomore. Defended well by Luscombe. A tip over by Mullen is going to go out of bounds, and that'll be Center Point-Urbana point. So South Tama's two big attackers, Laughlin and Babinet, pretty quiet in that first period. See if they can get them going. And there's Gloria Mullen from the right corner. She had a nice first period on that right side, and she scores again. Now to rotate around, Macy Welsh to serve. Welsh right down the middle. Goes at Hoskins. Hoskins picks it up. Still on the CPU side. There's Luscombe from the right corner. Dug out by Welsh. Whoa beater. Here comes Laughlin right at the block, and it goes onto the South Tama side. Pollock and Maui, the two defenders there. CPU not listing their player heights. It's kind of hard to see how they stack up, but just from the eyeball test, looks to be just a little bit of a height advantage for CPU on their front line. There's Logan Keller now from the left corner. That shot goes long and out of bounds. And that'll give South Tama a 4-3 lead. Gloria Mullen to serve. Mullen serve picked up by CPU. Keller off 1 foot, sends it over to the South Tama side. Laughlin against the block. And the CPU front line has done a nice job of keeping that left corner in check. Laughlin's shot goes against the block and falls to the court for a Center Point-Urbana point. We're tied at 4. Here's Ashlyn Kriegel from the front middle. Kriegel goes right. The CPU defense goes left, and South Tama scores a point. Laughlin, the sophomore, now at the line for South Tama. Long shot goes out of bounds. And Laughlin will rotate out for Mary Kate Frakes. We've had even scoring here early in the second period. Wobeater runs out of bounds, saves it back to Kriegel. Kriegel sends it over to the CPU side. Keller shoots back to South Tama. Now Babinet. A little change up on the left corner. The CPU defense able to handle it, pick it up. Now here comes the fastball. Oh, but Babinet can't find a location there, and it goes just long for a CPU point. Hoskins at the service line now for CPU. Sends it over. Babinet goes out of bounds. And just a little, almost a carry there by Paige Foltz. But that'll be a point for the Pointers. Hoskins had a big run in the middle of that first period. We'll see if she can do something similar in the second. And another little fake out by Babinet on the left corner, as that Center Point block really loading up for South Tama's bigger shots, bigger hitters there in the corners, and South Tama getting some success, getting some kind of misdirection shots to fall. Now Skylar Beck at the line for South Tama. Tupa finding a corner, and Addie Tupa takes the possession right back. And we're looking at an 8-6 second period so far. Kriegel, Beck to the bench for Welsh and Klosterman. Wobeater setting up Welsh, who had to come in from the kind of mid-court area. Couldn't quite get her feet underneath of her, and the ball goes into the net. Point CPU. There's Logan Keller at the line. Keller sends it to Mullen, and Mullen had to kind of go back on her heel to keep it alive, and nobody was there in the middle to collapse quick enough, and that'll be a point for CPU. Now Wobeater setting up Welsh. Welsh floats it over the block. CPU able to pick it up in the midcourt. Maui this time from the left corner. Attacks hard, but it goes out of bounds. Wobeater to the serve for South Tama. Wade tips it over. Klosterman just trying to save it, got a one-hander in, and it went out of bounds. And that'll bring up Tupa to serve for the Pointers. Right down the middle, Babinette easily picks it up. Welsh trying to go off speed again, but couldn't quite connect in the middle. And Welsh's attack goes into the net, point CPU. Now on the next serve from CPU. Wobeater setting up Babinette, who sent it over. Luscombe right against Mullen. Welsh kept it alive after the block by Mullen. Little dump over attempt by Babinette, picked up by Wade. Luscombe rolls it over the net. High ball now into the South Tama side. Gloria Mullen will elevate, and that'll be a point for South Tama, as too many touches called against CPU. But it has been CPU, the aggressor here in this second period as well. They took set number one, 25-17, if you're just tuning in. There's Maui going right at that midcourt again. And Wobeater can't quite pick it up, and it goes out of bounds off South Tama. Paige Foltz at the line for the Pointers. Foltz right at Klosterman, and South Tama losing focus here a little bit in the second period. As the Trojans kind of slow to react on that last serve. Here's Foltz again. South Tama with Laughlin. Laughlin threads the needle, going right between Maui and Pollock, and found a sliver of daylight to put that one down. Point South Tama. Welsh wasting no time at the line, getting one over. Luscombe from the corner, dug out by Laughlin. Wobeater bumps it over. Keller setting up Pollock, and Pollock will attack the middle of the court. 15-9 the score now, as CPU gaining control of this second period. Wobeater, Kriegel now, floats one over, picked up by Tupa. Luscombe into the block. Nice save by Babinette, who had to go to the court to get it. Keller, long shot, out of bounds, point South Tama. After the nice run there by CPU, South Tama finally back on to serve. It'll be Gloria Mullen, the junior, serving for the Trojans. Low serve there by Mullen. Picked up by the backcourt to the CPU side. Now to the South Tama end. And Courtney Babinette just kind of floated into the middle of the court, knocked one over, and CPU not ready to respond. The return floats out of bounds. Point South Tama. Keller able to just sneak one in on the sideline there on that far right side. As the Pointers leading 16-11. Now Kriegel, big shot down the middle. Ashlyn Kriegel finds a spot to put it down. The senior. Could be a big point here. South Tama still within striking distance, 16-12 the score. With Kaylee Laughlin at the line now for South Tama. Laughlin serve, dug out by Hoskins. But it is Pollock to kind of stop up the South Tama momentum on a kill from the left corner. And now to the line is Gracie Hoskins, the sophomore kind of ace leader, but her first serve goes long and out of bounds. So a nice break there, kind of getting Hoskins out of that serve position. And she serves it long, and that'll keep South Tama to within 4. Skyla Beck now serving for the Trojans. Beck goes right at Hoskins in the middle. Tip over by Foltz, and it'll get knocked out of bounds by the South Tama front line, point CPU. Beck and Kriegel go to the bench. Rotate out for Klosterman and Welsh. Mary-Kate Frakes also into the game now. Logan Keller, the server for CPU. Gets it over to Mullen, sends it to Wobeater. Now Babinet from the corner. Big shot there by Addie Tupa, right against Wobeater and Welsh. And it ricochets off the block, falls to the South Tama court, point CPU. And a serve by Keller goes kind of off the chest of Mary-Kate Frakes on the back line to make it 20-13. South Tama had maintained a 4-point deficit through the middle of the second period, but CPU on a little run here, and now it's 20-13. Next up for South Tama, they're going to be in action again at AGWSR. They're going to travel up to Ackley on Thursday. That's this Thursday, just a varsity duel. And then on Saturday, it'll be the STC home tournament, so a nice opportunity to come out and cheer on the Trojans. South Tama, one of a handful of teams, including BGM, Belle Plaine, East Marshall, Grinnell, Lisbon, Perry, and Waterloo East, rounding out the lineup for the STC volleyball tournament. Action starting at 9 o'clock. Be a round robin as per usual, so should be a nice long morning into the afternoon. So if you have some time to just get out and cheer on the Trojans Saturday or in the middle of the day, good opportunity to do that. Then Tuesday, Trojans back into WaMaC Conference action. They'll be at Vinton-Schellsburg. Out of the timeout, the serve receive, not able to kind of come together for South Tama as the serve went into the back line. Wobeater there unable to kind of dig it out from the front of the net. Oh my goodness. We saw Wobeater and then Klosterman go to the deck to try and dig that one out. A really nice effort, and then Laughlin was right there to kind of send it over as the ball kind of got knocked into the air, but CPU was ready, had an attacker right at the front of the net, and slammed a shot home near the far sideline. Another point for Center Point-Urbana. That'll force a timeout as the Trojans trail by 10 as set point is approaching. 23-13 the score here live from South Tama County High School. We'll be right back after this. Trojan Country fans, come on down to The Pump, Tama Toledo's #1 bar and grill. Located in downtown Tama at 218 West 3rd Street, The Pump serves up cold drinks, a warm atmosphere, and an amazing lunch on the regular. Check out the Tama Pump on Facebook for regular lunch and drink specials, as well as details on their latest events. Medicap Pharmacy in Toledo offers free medication packaging and free delivery to surrounding areas. With convenient drive-up service and hours on Saturday morning, Medicap Pharmacy is always there for you. Visit with pharmacist Derek Townsend and his team by calling 484-6198 or stop by their location across from Fairway in Toledo. Medicap Pharmacy, locally owned and expertly operated. All right, we're back out of the timeout. South Tama trailing 23-13. And that was Courtney Babinet after the serve from the left corner. Attacked hard from the corner position herself. The return by CPU was kind of mistimed and it ricocheted out of bounds. Point for the Trojans. And another out of bounds return by CPU gives South Tama 15. Senior Molly Wobeater at the line now. Line drive serve down the middle. Tip over by Tupa, picked up by Babinet in the front line. Mary-Kate Frakes will try the return, but the shot goes into the net. Point CPU. Set point coming up here for the Pointers, and they'll have Addie Tupa at the line. Tupa's shot goes right to Frakes, who gets it to Wobeater. Welsh digs it out. Wobeater just kind of lightly taps it over. There's a big shot by Maui from their left corner, and that'll do it for set number 2. South Tama takes a 25-17 defeat in the second period. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with period number 3. We'll be right back after this.
Located in the heart of corn and cattle country, Iowa Premium procures and processes only corn-fed Black Angus cattle that come hand-selected from family farms in Iowa and neighboring states. As Tama County's largest employer, the team at Iowa Premium are an anchor, not only in the beef industry, but throughout eastern and central Iowa. Iowa Premium, a national beef company. When you're looking for a new home or farmland, why not seek the counsel of a friend and expert? Dallas Berm at Exit Holes Realty can answer all your questions about the home buying process. Exit Holes Realty knows Trojan country better than anyone and can provide the kind of service you've been looking for. So call Dallas Berm at 319-360-1592 to start looking for your new home, and remember to buy with Berm.
I'm Sarah Smith, and I'm running for Iowa House District 53. As a lifelong Iowan and a native of Poweshiek County, I know this district well, and I have a vested interest in its success. In my leadership roles as a mom, coach, business professional, and a devoted member of my community, I know how to advocate for what matters most. Learn more about my campaign and my platform at sarahsmithforiowa.com. Paid for by Sarah Smith for Iowa.
All right, welcome back to live action here at the STC RoundHouse. South Tama and Center Point-Urbana facing off here in WaMaC Conference action. It's been all CPU here in the first 2 periods. South Tama trailing 2-0 as we start set number 3. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors tonight. Gary Bach State Farm, Iowa Premium, Mercy Care Tama, Appraisal and Real Estate Services, Medicap Toledo, Sharn Webbers, Sarah Smith for Iowa, State Bank of Toledo, SNS Car Wash, the Tama Pump, Dallas Berm, Exit Holes Realty, Assured Partners in Toledo, and the Farmer's Daughter Photography. To start the third set on the court for the Trojans. Gloria Mullen, Ashlyn Kriegel, Ashley Finch, Molly Wobeater, Courtney Babinet, and Macy Welsh. It will be CPU to serve, and Logan Keller will start it off for the Pointers. Kriegel rotates out for Klosterman. I don't know why they do this. Why don't they just put the ones on the court that are going to start on the court? It just feels like it could be simpler. But at any rate, we are underway. The serve by Keller. Received by Klosterman, bumped over by Babinet. And Wobeater from the middle sends it to the sky. Babinet returns it to the CPU side. Little rushed bump there by Maui. Now Welsh to Babinet into the block, but it goes out of bounds. Point South Tama. So the Trojans strike first in set number 3. Wobeater still at the line. High serve this time by Wade. Return to the South Tama side, punched over by the South Tama defense. Big shot by Maui, goes into the net, no good. Point South Tama. So 2-0. Wobeater still at the line. Second serve picked up by Maui. Little carryover by Paige Foltz that time. And it falls good for a CPU point. Addie Tupa at the line. Serve dug out by Babinet. Mullen keeps it alive. Nice return action there. Klosterman and Wobeater both went to the deck to save it. And Babinet just kind of tippy-taps it over for a point. You can hear the big reaction by the STC student section there. Babinet to serve now, right at Hoskins. The libero for CPU. Luscombe trying a big shot from the corner, but it's long, out of bounds. Point South Tama. Four to 1. As CPU arguing the spot on their side, trying to say they thought it was inbound, but I believe the call will stand, and it'll be a point for South Tama. Now Babinet to serve, right in the middle of the service line. Here's Luscombe. She's going to try it again from the left corner. A little frustration amount there by CPU's Taylor Luscombe, the senior outside hitter. Attacked it, went right into the net, point South Tama. So the Trojans down 2-0. Playing maybe a little looser here in the third period. Kind of nothing left to lose at this point. But here's another point here for CPU. Just as I get done saying that, South Tama unable to collapse on a shot by the Pointers, and that'll give CPU 2 points. Foltz at the line now for CPU. Klosterman picks it up. Kaylee O'Laughlin attacking to the back line. Tupa picks it up. Laughlin and Welsh at the front line keep it from going back over, and that'll be a point for the Trojans. Now Macy Welsh rotates back to serve. Kriegel comes back in for Klosterman. Maui, misdirection against Laughlin and Kriegel. It'll go out of bounds. South Tama bench saying it was tipped. And the official will rule it tipped against South Tama. And that'll be a point for the Pointers, and the serve goes back to CPU. Tupa still at the line now. Tupa serve, kind of a dead feeling serve. It went right to Klosterman, and it didn't have much velocity, so when it came off of Klosterman's return, it just kind of fell flat and didn't end up going back into the air, so it fell for a point. Big shot there by Mullen into the block. Ricochets back to the South Tama side. Laughlin and Welsh run to save it. Goes back to the CPU side. And now Pollock gets it to fall. As the Pointers pulled within one. Serve picked up by Babinet. Wobeater tips it over. Almost lost it there. CPU able to keep it alive. Kriegel into the block. Nice save by Klosterman. Oh, and credit that point to Cassandra Klosterman that time. Kriegel sent it into the block, and it came right back to South Tama, but the libero, Klosterman, dove to the court, knocked it up, and CPU wasn't ready to defend, giving South Tama the point. Pollock this time called for a net violation as she kind of slam dunked it over the top of the net. And timeout, CPU wants to talk things over. And South Tama up 3 here in the third set. So make sure if you can't make it out to Independence on Friday, we're going to have all the live football action. Week 5, South Tama opening up their district schedule against the Independence Mustangs. South Tama 1-3 so far in the season, and Independence undefeated 4-0. So we're going to have that normal start time, kickoff around 7:30. We're going to try and get pregame going around 6:30. And we'll have all the live action for you here on Trojan Country, Facebook and YouTube. So join us on Friday for all that. Coming out of the timeout, South Tama will have the serve. Gloria Mullen at the service line. Here's Luscombe, this time from the left corner. Able to go cross court, puts one down for a point. 8-6. Here's Adeline Wade to serve. Wobeater gets it to Kriegel. Kriegel right in the middle against the block, but finds a spot to put it down. Point South Tama. Kaylee Laughlin to serve. Low serve dug out by Tupa. It rattles around on the CPU side. Pollock unable to get to it, and it falls for a South Tama point. Trojans trying to steal away this third set after trailing the first two. The serve by Laughlin, unable to fall, and so that'll give the ball back to CPU, who trails by 3. Ashley Finch comes back into the game for South Tama. On the serve receive, Wobeater gets it to Babinet, who goes over the back to just save it and get it back to the CPU side. Babinet, light little bump over. Tupa saves it. And South Tama unable to collapse in the middle. CPU pulls to within 2. Hoskins now at the service line. Right at Finch in the back line. She picks it up, gets it back to the Center Point-Urbana side. Keller goes right at the back corner again. Mullen is there to defend. The ball back to the CPU side. Keller will try the same shot from the left corner. Mullen again there to defend. Babinet into the block on the left corner. It goes out of bounds. South Tama point. Skyla Beck and Macy Welsh rotating in for South Tama. Here's Beck right down the right sideline, picked up by Wade. Tupa gets it to Mullen. Babinet, hard shot into the left corner, and it goes against the block. Foltz and company were right there on the left side, and they get it to fall for a Center Point-Urbana point. Logan Keller at the line now. And Keller's low shot, unable to be dug out by the back line of South Tama. Finch was there, but just kind of slipped as she tried to go low to dig it out. Klosterman saving an out-of-bounds ball, getting it to Babinet, and the The volley still underway, and that'll be a point for the Trojans as CPU miscommunicates on a collapse, and nobody was home there after Babinet sent it back over to the CPU side. All right, ball on the South Tama side now as we've gone back and forth a couple times here. Now here's Fultz going right down the middle. Attacks at Klosterman. Klosterman just off balance a little bit. It goes out of bounds. Point CPU, and now they're pulled within one. Addie Tupa still at the service line for the Pointers. Wobeater to Welsh. Floats it over. Hoskins, hard shot from the backcourt. Picked up by Babinet. Wobeater to Babinet, and Babinet gets one to go from the left corner. The kills leader for South Tama gets one from the left side. Babinet now to the service line. Sends it over to Hoskins. Fultz from the front. And Welsh just kind of shoves it over straight away. But Maui was right there. Maui has been pretty accurate. I'd say probably one of the more athletic bodies between these two teams. Been pretty dangerous at that outside hitter position. And she's been able to go cross court a few times and kind of just pinpoint a shot where she wants it to go. It falls for a point. And a timeout as we're tied up at 13 after a point from CPU just moments ago. Coach Canton-Wine and the Trojans want to talk it over as they've hung in there in this third set, but CPU has had the advantage most of the way. Another reminder, the t-shirt deadline coming up this Friday for the Trojan Way 5K that's scheduled for Sunday, October 2. The 5K will kick off homecoming activities. And so if you want to get yourself a t-shirt, make sure to get a hold of the STC front office. Get signed up for that. And a fun week of homecoming activities coming up here in just about a week and a half. So coming out of the timeout, we're tied up at 13 in this third set. South Tama looking to steal away a victory and just keep the action going here at the RoundHouse on Tuesday night. Paige Fultz at the line for CPU. It'll be an ace as the STC back line unable to gather it. And Center Point-Urbana takes their first lead, at least since the early going of this third set. Fultz goes to Laughlin. Wobeater bumps it over. Big shot by Maui from the left corner. Luscombe coming into this one, the kills leader, but it's been Sydney Maui, the sophomore right side, has really been the difference maker on offense for CPU tonight. And, you know, it shouldn't really come as a surprise. The Pointers coming in with two conference wins and a tough, WaMaC always tough in volleyball. Another little misdirection there by CPU, getting South Tama kind of on their back heel, and CPU all of a sudden up 3. So, yeah, it shouldn't come as a surprise that we're seeing a pretty talented CPU team. Nice shot there by Gloria Mullen from that right corner. Went hard and out of bounds off the back line of the CPU defense. South Tama still within 2. The serve will go to Macy Welsh. Klosterman heads to the bench. Welsh's serve down the middle. Hoskins picks it up. Luscombe sends it over to the South Tama side. Babinet over the back to the CPU side. Luscombe tried a little misdirect there. And again, that's kind of on the line for a carry by my eye, as Luscombe kind of just went hard at the middle and then kind of shoved it to the, kind of slid it to the right side, and it hit the net but fell onto the South Tama side. Nice shot there by Ashlyn Kriegel over the block into the backcourt. And she's had some sneaky points here in the second and third sets. Ashlyn Kriegel, the senior middle hitter for South Tama, keeps the Trojans within 2. Wobeater to Liscombe. Still alive. Nice save by Klosterman as Kriegel was on the attack in the middle. Klosterman right there to pick it up. Send it back to the CPU side. Still alive on the South Tama's end. And the South Tama front not quite communicating the way they want to, and a loose ball just kind of falls to the court for a Center Point-Urbana point. A hard-fought volley there by CPU. 18-15 now the score. Wade, the server for Center Point-Urbana, and that's Kriegel again from the middle. Just kind of sneaks one in. Laughlin at the service line. Serve is long, out of bounds. Ashley Finch will rotate in for Laughlin. Hoskins to serve now for CPU. Babinet, big shot from the corner, and that'll be a point for Babinet and the Trojans, as she sent one hard right at Kaylee Hoskins, and a rotation coming in for South Tama. Still Center Point-Urbana's advantage as they grabbed a 2-point lead midway through this set, and they've maintained it here so far. Mullen sends it to Keller. Keller goes right at Beck, I believe, who's able to grab it from the ground. Keller again into the back line. Beck is right there to keep it alive. And Finch and Babinet kind of miscommunicated on the left sideline. They both kind of went for the return, and it goes out of bounds. Point CPU. Logan Keller still at the service line for Center Point-Urbana. And this time it's Macy Welsh who kind of rolled one over the CPU block and just kind of ran out of places to go, fell down for a point. Here comes a big shot from Paige Foltz, dug out by Finch. Hoskins, a little one-handed knock into the middle of the South Tama side. Big shot there by Welsh. Trying to work one against the back line, but it goes long and out of bounds. As we're nearing game point here, 21-18 the score. Center Point-Urbana in control. Tupa goes to Finch. And Welsh just kind of mistimes her jump. Threw it into the net. Point CPU. A timeout on the court. Coach Cantonline going to talk it over with her team. We'll be right back after this.
2022 marks the 95th year in business for the State Bank of Toledo since opening in 1927. The State Bank of Toledo is Trojan Country's hometown bank, supporting its customers with loyal, friendly, and fair customer service. With 2 convenient locations, a full-service investment center, 24-hour ATM service, and online banking, you can't go wrong making State Bank of Toledo your financial services choice. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, coming out of the timeout, CPU up 22-18 as we are nearing the potential conclusion of the third set. Addie Tupa serving for Center Point-Urbana. Welsh again unable to connect from the middle. Little error there by the Trojan front line, and that'll give another point to CPU. Miscommunication again at the front line. Wobeater talking to the official, seeing if she can get it reversed. Wobeater trying to say that CPU dumped it over, kind of, pardon my lack of official terminology, and Wobeater able to get the call reversed as she said that the front line of CPU kind of slam dunked it. And that'll reverse the call. So we're going to take the point back from CPU, and South Tama has 19 now. So 23-19 the score after the point reversal there. Big shot by Foltz. It goes out of bounds off of Wobeater. As despite the fortuitous call that time a moment ago, Center Point-Urbana has really dominated this one tonight. Foltz, serve goes out of bounds on set point, giving South Tama 20. The highest score so far in any set for South Tama. Macy Welsh serving now for the Trojans. Welsh goes to Hoskins in the back line. Little fake out by Luscombe. Defended by Wobeater, who picks it up. And there's Courtney Babinet through like 3 defenders. I don't even know where that one was going, but it found a spot and it went down for a point. Welsh at the line as the Trojans trail by 3. Good low serve there by Welsh. Pollock sends it back over to the South Tama side. Kaylee O'Loughlin off the left block. And South Tama forces a timeout as they pull to within 2. Thanks once again to all of our sponsors: Gary Bach State Farm Insurance, Iowa Premium, Mercy Care Tama, Appraisal and Real Estate Services, Medicap Toledo, Sharn Weber's in Toledo, Sarah Smith for Iowa, S&S Car Wash, the State Bank of Toledo, the Tama Pump, Dallas Berm, Exit Hulls Realty, Assured Partners in Toledo, and the Farmer's Daughter Photography. Out of the timeout now, South Tama trailing by 2 in the third set. Macy Welsh at the line. Welsh right down the middle. Luscombe from the corner, and that's Gloria Mullen. Time to block just right. And South Tama pulls to within 1. Trojans looking to stay froggy and go to a 4th set. Welsh still serving. Maui. Too much to handle for Babinet, and it goes out of bounds. And that'll do it. The 2-point victory will close the third set off of a hard shot by sophomore Sydney Maui. Final score of the third set, 25-23. South Tama loses in 3 straight sets after defeating CPU in 3 straight sets last season around this time. The first 2 set scores, 25-17 in the first, 25-15 in the second, and 25-23 in the third. So make sure to tune in on Friday, starting around 6:30. We're going to have a pregame show for the STC Independence football game. And we'll be back. We'll be back in action on Tuesday. More volleyball action coming your way. We're going to try and get set up at Vinton Shellsburg for some more WaMaC Conference volleyball. All right, so for I was about to sign myself off with a co-host. I am by myself for Darvin Graham. I am Darvin Graham, and I will continue to be Darvin Graham into the evening. Thanks for joining us. Hope everyone has a great week out there in South Tama land. And we'll see you on Friday.
Question